You ready to hit record?
I hit record, girl.
Hey.
That part, yeah, I hit record. So here we are, y'all. My name is Tracy.
And I'm Tamiko.
And we are what? Let's not talk about that.
And we are Let's Not Talk About That, where we talk about all the stuff that we don't really want to talk about.
Yeah, yeah. And it's been a week for us.
Oh, it's been.
We coming off of a weekend where we have been hit left and right. We are dealing with some stuff. So y'all gonna help us through some of this stuff we dealing with.
Oh, y'all about to get the raw deal.
Yeah. So please excuse us in advance.
In advance.
Can we apologize?
Well, no. Miss Ruby said, don't apologize.
Don't apologize. Okay.
She says, stop saying I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Stop saying I'm sorry. Why are you apologizing? You didn't do anything wrong.
Okay. So let me say this. For those of y'all who are used to me being a certain way, because I have many different lives. I have many different sides that I am accepting. Okay. The wholeness of me. Okay. So if y'all don't want to hear me cuss, this might not be a podcast y'all want to listen to.
Yeah, just bag on out because it's about to be raw.
Yeah, mama, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to my elders.
Did you just say mama?
Yes, I did. I said, mama. I told her today. I said, mama, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to my elders. So, but it's been a week for me. It has truly been a week for both of us dealing with the same thing, but in totally different type of relationships. So we're going to dig today into some things. And our topic is going to be about unlearning.
Whew. Let's just breathe there. I don't know what I'm going to contribute.
But I think that is a good thing. What we both, because in spite of the situations and the circumstances and what we've been going through, it really still, when it comes back to us, is us unlearning things that we was taught.
Absolutely.
Things that was embedded in us, things that we thought was right.
Right. Because it wasn't,
it made sense to us
intent.
then. Yes.
It was, and we took it as this is a way of us being protected and taken care of. And it gave us some sense of security.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I learned a couple of years ago that the different things that I was taught. Yeah. The different things that I was taught in I'm not going to say just in my childhood, from my parenting, down to from my parenting down to my grandparents, including life and how I was raised, and what life taught me, the situation, the circumstance. Am I right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because some things is just, growing up how we grew up.
Right.
Into the sheltered family. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
We was very sheltered,
absolutely.
So we thought certain things was right and certain things was wrong.
And it wasn't so much of what was right and what was wrong. It was, this is a sin. This is not a sin.
Yeah.
So this is hell and damnation. We were taught hell and damnation.
Yes. Yeah.
Or
this is the way to heaven.
Yes.
And the goal was heaven, not hell.
Right. Because
and the fear of hell was taught way more than the
love.
Joy and the love of heaven. Okay.
Yes.
So we grew up with the right and the wrong, black and white kind of thing.
Yep.
So now being at this age, and I like to say I'm 53. Now being at 53, you ain't got to tell yours.
No. I'm good. I'm happy. Right. I'm how many months away from 50? I'll be 50 in October, and I'm excited about it. I think today, I'm excited about it in the place that I'm in right now.
Because the acceptance that I got at turning 50 was like none other. I can truly see the acceptance of my own self.
You accepting who you are.
Yes.
Yes.
And where I've been and being okay with myself. That didn't come until 50 plus. you know.
Okay.
So, and I try to speak to our younger ladies, like our nieces and cousins, you know, not to get to, because the joy in it.
Yes. I think we waited too long to see that. I say the same thing to my daughters, like, oh, y'all are at the prime. Like, if y'all can get this now, by the time y'all get to where
if y'all can learn this now,
baby,
and start enjoying yourself now.
Life.
But that is so, I mean, even in saying that one thing, I was telling you this weekend, that's part of what we got to unlearn.
Yes.
Because we taught that joy came in Christ only, in Christ alone.
I tell you the torment that I take myself through come, when was it? So I was with y'all when? Saturday? The turmoil and the torture that I sent myself through on Sunday.
For having a good time.
For having a good time. I didn't do anything wrong. I had an amazing time. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything out of character. I did what I wanted to do. Even the things that were a stretch, I still wanted to do those things.
Yes.
And I enjoyed myself thoroughly doing those things.
Yeah.
But the guilt that came afterwards was not even, and it was not even a guilt that I felt like I was getting from God. It was it was self-imposed.
Yes, that's the unlearning.
It was something I sent myself through.
Yes.
No other factor. Nobody else knows what happened, what I was going through, but it was something I sent myself through. So recognizing, oh, why am I like this? Why do I feel this way? And kind of seeing the things that I was taught as a kid.
All the way up
until adulthood. And then what was reinforced even in my marriage, because of course, his expectations reinforced that.
Yes. Because men want that douse of wife, that submissive. You know, they look for that church girl. They still want that church girl that's gonna cook,
nice, innocent, humble, not humble, but submissive.
Yes.
Submissive.
Men humble.
Yeah. And I can still be all of that.
Naive. They want you naive.
They want you dumb and
naive as fuck.
I'm about to say something inappropriate.
I know, but I didn't already gave my disclosure. I'm a cuss. So look, no disrespect to my elders.
Yeah.
But you know, and that could be coming out of the space that I'm in.
Because we're not in a great space. I mean, no, I can't even say we're not in a great space. I think we are in the space that we need to be in.
Yeah.
So whatever happens, happens.
It sucks. Yeah, it sucks. So I do want to, you know, I have been told that I make stuff look easy.
Yeah.
That I don't necessarily show the difficult of what it looks like, how I handle life. Because I am one that will get calm before I blow up.
Oh, I'm the same way.
So I bring it in. So if something, it could be chaotic, I'm going to bring the calm.
Absolutely.
So I like to, so because of that, I like to say, and I was told this before by a very good girlfriend at the time, that, well, you know, Tracy, you really need to say when you're not doing well, because you don't show it. It's not seen.
Okay.
And I could agree with her at the time. Like I can say it to her.
Right.
But even in me saying it, because I said it in such a calmness, I don't think that people believe me. You know what I'm saying? When they used to use, oh, you'll be all right. You know, you strong, you could deal with it. No, y'all, I'm falling the fuck apart.
Yeah.
You know, and because I can say that to them, I'm doing good.
But again, too, how long did it take you to even get to a place where you could recognize I'm falling apart?
I think I always recognized that. I think people just didn't believe that shit. I went to Tamiko.
Okay.
Come, you know, I'll tell you in a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
sometimes we just push through because it's just we're in autopilot. So sometimes it takes a while for us to even recognize. Oh,
I'm recognizing. Okay, so the part it takes me to recognize is the part that I'm going through. But when I'm falling apart, I'm falling apart. Like you was last weekend. Like last week, you was falling apart. You was walking gym twice.
I was going to listen, y'all. The gym has been helping my mental health.
And you kept saying, I'm okay. No, bitch, you not.
I'm not okay. I'm going to the gym, working out for an hour and a half, then leaving the gym, going to the trail and walking a 2.5, 3 mile trail, and then still getting home, still wound up, still not enough, still searching for some kind of relief. I remember I was driving in my car on the way from the trail, and I was like, God, okay, I need some comfort. Obviously, I need comfort. So
because you didn't try everything
else. I need somebody to just grab me up and hug me tight. I need comfort. And the night before I fell asleep, literally, I was going out of my mind. I'm quoting scriptures and was like, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He restores my soul. Oh I walk through the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. I'm literally sending myself to sleep, going through that. Like, seriously, like, what am I doing? What is wrong? And then did a recording. I did a voice recording because that has been therapeutic for me. Mm-hmm. Not so much just saying it, but going back and listening to myself to hear where I was at. Mm-hmm. I was all over the place.
Yeah.
I was high, low, crying, laughing. Like, girl, you're in the middle of a break. Somebody needs to come and get you. Put you in a straitjacket. Because you are going through. And in the midst of going through the highs and lows of it, being like, girl, you're doing this to yourself.
Yeah. And so I guess for me, so when you say that, and then even when you say, well, Tracy, how long does it take? I want people to believe what I tell them, regardless of how it sounds. Right. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have to blow up on your ass for you to believe me. For real, I shouldn't have to break down to lay in the floor and sobbing for you to believe I'm tired. Yeah. If I tell you I'm tired, regardless of whether I sounded with a pep in my voice or with joy, regardless of how I sound, if I'm telling you I'm tired, I want you to believe that.
Yeah, but I think too,
and not keep talking.
Just shut up. I didn't ask you to keep talking. Just shut up.
Because I might be tired of listening to you.
I might be tired of your voice. Just stop breathing. Just don't breathe. Just don't breathe. Just don't breathe at all. Let's see if that works.
Because I feel like I can tell, like even with clients, I feel like I could tell somebody exactly how I'm feeling. Mm-hmm. And they say, oh, well, let me tell you what happened to me this week.
No, that's not what I asked for.
Now you pouring right into me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yes. And expecting a response.
And I've already told you I'm empty.
I've already told you I have nothing for you. I'm tired.
Yeah. So do you think it's important though? I think for me, the unlearning for me, and we were taught this, at least I know I was taught to stuff. Avoid the hard conversations. Maybe it's just you. Just give people grace, let it go. And it's getting harder and harder for me to be able to do that. So I have to start addressing stuff head on. I can't stuff anymore. Because what happens when I continue to stuff, then I go from 0 to 10. Because I've allowed you to compound all of this on me. So when you finally say, I'm not good, well, you've been good all this time.
Yeah. So I'm trying to see, I can't say I ever learned how to stuff.
Oh, I was.
Let me say that. So, because I remember having a conversation with my dad, some time ago, years ago, and me thinking I was, it's 3 of us. I have a sister and a brother. I'm in the middle. My sister and brother have stories. They got whoopings. I never got whoopings. They have their lives. I have my life. Their childhood does not resemble my childhood, and we in the middle.
And y'all grew up in the exact same house with the exact same parents.
But I feel like I've always learned from other people's mistakes. Oh,
you're an observer.
If you do that.
Yeah,
I was
an
observer.
Right. Yes. You always have been.
So I didn't do anything, you know. So I did. I was a people pleaser all the way until people pleasing I learned how to, this is what my mama needs. This is what my daddy needs. And then I also learned how to defy them passively.
Absolutely.
Okay. I learned how to, I could not disrespect my mother, but I can over respect my mother.
Ooh, ain't that passive aggressive?
But that shit I learned early.
So come on, talk to
I
that
did.
more.
I will over respect my mother. So my mother was like, okay, you got to say yes or no. Okay, so I got to be a slave. So it's yes, ma'am. No, ma'am.
That's what is that? Yeah,
that's over. But she called me out on that.
I was gonna say, Tracy, you're being an ass.
Right?
Yeah, you're being an ass.
Yeah, I was
intentionally.
Yeah, I was. But you can't whoop me for that. My man.
You can't whoop me for being. You asked for respect. I'm giving
you telling me I got to listen to everything you do. Oh, okay, I got to be your slave. So okay. That was it. So my
smart ass little girl.
Yes. So my dad finally sat me down one day and let me know, where you think you was the easiest, you was my most difficult.
Wow. He said that to you?
Yeah. Because I challenged.
You challenged it.
You couldn't just tell me why I couldn't do something. I needed to know why I couldn't do it, because Dad, you raised me this way. Do you not believe that I'm going to be the girl that you taught me to be? So how can you tell me I can't go there? I didn't get all that shit until my son started doing that shit to me.
Right, because you are
to Joshua.
You are Josh.
Started doing that to me.
Yes.
I said, oh, okay, this is how I saw. This is how I was. Okay, that's not good.
No.
Yeah. So that was me. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that was me stuffing, because I always had to have a conversation. Is what I'm saying. Did not know that though. I'm understanding. I'm just now understanding and learning that about me to stand in it. It's confidence.
Yeah.
But I did not know that I pushed that. But what I did learn was to pull the big girl panties on.
Yeah.
Now that I learned.
And figure it out.
You know what I mean? Like, you ain't got to show everything. You can feel it, but you got to keep it going. Okay, because I was a crier when I was a child. I cried. You looked at me hard. They tell me at 2, 3, it's pictures of me just crying. You looked at me hard. I ain't like people looking at me. I was light skinned, red hair. Come on, everybody in my family dark. Why you looking at me? Because I'm different. I cried. Okay.
Wow.
So it's Tracy, you gotta put that shit together. Stop all that crying. Yeah. So that I learned, that regardless of how I felt, I had to push through my feelings. Not that I couldn't feel it, but I still somehow learned that my feelings wasn't valued.
My feelings don't matter. You were taught your feelings don't matter.
It don't
you gotta
matter.
pull your shit together.
Yeah, you gotta pull it together.
So this is a part of the unlearning.
Yes.
Because again, we were taught your feelings. It does not matter how you feel. It don't matter how you feel. You still got to get up. You still got to do what you got to do. You got to take care of your family.
So let me say this. What sucks about that shit? What sucks about that is I can learn that, but I can't make the people around me learn.
You can't, but that's not your responsibility. That part, that's not your responsibility. You can only control you.
That's the messed up part about it. The messed up part is that I'm trying to shake the people around me into understanding
it's impossible.
That, hey, I got feelings and my feelings matter.
Not to them.
Girl.
Your feelings are your feelings. That's your responsibility. Doesn't matter to them.
Yeah, I ain't learned that.
Me either. Here we are. And we're on this quest together because I want you to know my feelings. And this is how I feel. And I need you to change your behavior because
to match my feelings.
I feel. You got me fucked up. I need you to straighten that out. That's control. Stop.
Yeah, I ain't learned that yet.
Stop.
I ain't learned that yet. I have not learned that yet, y'all. I have not. Yeah. I don't know what
Y'all see, I'm quiet because I can't help.
I think we just gonna think about that for a moment to see where this is about to take us, because it is, it is what it is. It is what it is. But I can't say this, me learning my capacity, me learning what I can take, that my feelings does matter. I'm able to voice my needs clearer.
Yes.
Regardless whether you hear me or
whether
not.
you accept it or
whether
not.
you accept it or
but
not.
I think too, even being able to voice it is not so much for the other person. It is for you. You being able to speak it out loud. Yes, it gives them some inside information, but it also gives yourself some kind of, I think, validation that yes, your feelings are valid. Your feelings do matter. And yes, you are feeling this. Yeah, it gives you an assurance in a particular way.
Yeah.
But that does not mean that other person is going to line up because you feel in a way.
What it makes me think of particular is I was doing a young lady's hair, and I don't know whether it was because of her age range, she was able to receive it, and she kept talking and pulling from me. Many of my clients do, they like to share their experience. A pull is wanting to know what's your opinion, Tracy? Well, what do you think about this situation? That's a pull, because that requires me to go in to be able to give you some advice,
right?
So, and she kept pulling on me, and I had politely told her, this is when Uncle Henry was passing. And I had politely told her, I have an uncle that's transitioning. I told her that earlier on in the conversation, and she kept pulling. And I had to I politely told her, honey, I'm sorry. I am not trying to offend you, but I don't have the mental capacity to have a conversation with you right now.
Right.
Now, I don't know whether it was her age that she accepted and understood. It's like, I totally understand. I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
So she totally handled it well.
Understood.
But understand, whether she would have handled it or didn't handle it.
It didn't matter.
Everything else you saying right now is just going right past me, because I have no mental capacity to be able to have a conversation, which means I'm not about to go back and forth with you. You could talk.
Yeah. But you're not getting anything. I
can't talk back with you because I can't even hear everything you're saying. Yeah. I'm catching pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and sometimes we could fake through that.
Yeah.
So, but that's the part I enjoy about being 50. Being at this age range, I ain't gotta fake no more.
That part.
I'm
embracing the hell out of that.
And I'm still learning. Because there are still people.
Oh, yeah, that can take
There are still some that I still continue to fake with.
Yeah.
But I have to learn. Tracy, even them. I need you to pour that.
It needs to be all inclusive. Yes, it does need to be.
Yes,
because what happens is we show, like, if you're really trying to change a behavior, you're trying to really change some things about yourself. It's going to show up everywhere. It's not just, okay, I want to change this about myself and my personality and how it affects how I do business. No, it's going to show up in your personal life. If it doesn't show up with your children, it's going to show up with your spouse. If it doesn't show up with your spouse, it's going to show up with your parents or your sibling relationships or your friend relationships.
Or God.
Because that's also a relationship. So it's going to show up.
Yeah.
In every way. And y'all, it's been in my head, she says it's just only been a week. I feel like I'm going, I'm in a wilderness. Like, it's been a journey, because it's showing up as soon as you feel like you master it in one area, then it pops up somewhere else and you have to master it in that area as well.
Yeah, I will. So this is one thing I'm learning, which is unlearning. Okay. So one of the things that I'm learning is how we grew up is how I thought most people grew up. So I'm learning that we're more in the minority than the majority on how we grew up.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So some of the things that we're struggling with, we make it harder.
Most people
because they not struggling the same way.
Yeah.
Even though you have a lot of people that can relate to us because of how they grew up.
Yeah, because of cultural similarities.
Yeah, and at the same time, you have a lot of people still stuck in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, and not saying that because I still struggle at times. When I struggle with like what's right and what's wrong, you know, like I'm only enjoying myself. Okay, but am I being deceived? Is this the enemy trying to get me?
On the highway to hell. On the highway to hell. When gasoline draws up.
You know, I still fight. I battle with it.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
You don't have to tell. You do not. Again, I already told my story. I had a great time this weekend, but good God, I was on the highway to hell.
Yeah. So yeah, the more I sit and stuff and learn, I learned that there's nothing wrong with this, and how many more people is doing it and enjoying themselves. So we saying all of this, y'all, and we had more fun than we had problems. Am I? When you let this come on? No, we had the past. Tamiko,
we in the past. What's the time frame?
Tamiko, the past 4 weekends.
Oh, Lord.
We have look.
Oh my lantern.
Y'all, if I would just give y'all a glimpse.
If we could have recorded not even just a voice recording of just our facial expressions, we've been balling out for the last 4 weekends. We have been living life.
Yes.
And we still been taking care of our responsibilities.
Right. And the sad part about it too is though we shame to show us living. We shame. You know what I'm saying? We don't take no pictures. Everybody be out there. We be out there. We be like, no. Don't show me. Look, don't post this. I ain't supposed to be here.
Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody.
But the living life. Having a good time.
I mean, I look.
Having a good time.
The last 13 years I've lived, bitch, I've been having a ball. I have been, and not even having a ball where I'm being fake about it. Like I've literally been, it's been easy for me to be myself.
Enjoying. I mean, we have really been enjoying ourselves.
Easy for me to be myself without worrying about who's looking over my shoulder, who's watching me, who's about to criticize what I did or did not do, who's worried about how I was standing, what I had on, how I was holding myself, like how, you know.
Yeah, we really have. So, you know, the fact of that saying how good of a time we have, and then when something small or life hits us in a different kind of way, where that takes us, because I instantly keep having to remind myself. I did a lot of that this weekend. Okay, Tracy, you can't erase all the good.
Yeah.
You can't erase all the good.
Yeah.
You cannot erase all the good.
That's true.
You can. I keep having to tell myself, like, you can't erase the good. You can't erase the joy. You can't, you know. And then, hell,
it is what it is.
What's the hymn? What's the hymn?
Not the hymn. We're gonna sing a hymn. Which one?
What? If my good days outweigh my bad days,
oh, I won't complain. Lord Jesus, I won't complain.
Sometimes I go back to the hymn, like, cause for real,
right?
My good days have outweighed my bad,
right?
For real,
right.
But I make them bad days seem so much bigger than what they are, y'all.
Some days them clouds hang low, and I can hardly see the road.
Look, I make them bad days so much bigger. Than
we do. We make. But I said that to you. What was it, yesterday or the day before? I said that to you. Like, I think I'm making this bigger than what it really is.
Yeah.
So when I make it bigger, then yes, it is consuming. It's overwhelming. I can't take it, and then my anxiety is gone off the rails unnecessarily. It's not that serious.
No, it's not.
We've been conditioned. We're unlearning.
Yeah.
But what's scary is, so in my mind, because I'm too analytical, and I got to pick everything apart, which is what was going on with me last week. I was being too analytical and trying to pick stuff apart and try to get an understanding of things.
She mean Thursday.
That was just, today is Monday. Don't call me out. That was just,
it wasn't Friday too, because when I see you Saturday,
you saw me Saturday.
So that was okay. Thursday and Friday. No,
it was all last week though. When you think about, so last week was
it was all last week. I just want them to know how close that is, because it ain't been a full week.
I feel like I've been.
It ain't been a week.
I've been in the wilderness 40 days, 40 nights. It has only been 7 days, if that.
Walking on the treadmill in the wilderness.
Y'all don't mind us, please. Today is not the day.
I'm like, what is you doing?
Yes, she will.
Can you name it?
I couldn't.
Can you name it?
I couldn't. It was I was tormenting myself.
But at our age, we do have to take in consideration the.
Yeah, I had some hormonal stuff going on. Yeah. So i.e. I'm in. Well, clinically, they've not said I really am in menopause. But I will say I just got a couple more months, and if things go the way they've been going, I will be considered in full-blown menopause. So I was on a medication that my doctor gave me to not blow the fuck up and kill everybody in my house. And I ran out of that script, and it was over the holiday weekend. So I put in my request on like a Wednesday or Thursday. Obviously, my doctor was out. And I kind of went batshit crazy all by myself.
Did. She really did.
My hormone. So,
she really did. And regardless, because I could say it and she knew it. Like, you can't, Tamiko. Okay, name the feeling.
I couldn't.
Name the feeling. What do you feel? It did bring up some stuff though, because I've always felt that regardless of our hormones,
it's true stuff. It's not make believe.
Yes, dormant. It's just
so
we
make it bigger.
We just blow it up because we don't deal with it outside of that.
Yes.
So I truly feel like God gave us our hormones because he knew the weight that was going to be put on us with those expectations of what we had to carry.
I agree.
So I need y'all to be able to release this at some particular point. And our hormones help us to release that.